Hi, welcome to my 8th and probably final video in my keyboarding series. Today I want to take you to the internet and show you two different sites where you can be practicing your keyboarding skill that we've been working on. So if everyone would go down to your taskbar, click on the E for Internet Explorer, and then that will open up for you. Notice that the top of your screen may look different than mine. There's something I always do on the internet, just like I have my defaults and special settings I like to do in Microsoft Word to make it more user-friendly. I like to do these things to the internet to make it more user-friendly. So you might like to do this also. If you right-click up in the empty area up at the top, there are some choices you can add. There's the menu bar, favorites bar, command bar, status bar, lock the toolbars, and show tabs on a separate row. I always check all of those things because I find the internet to work better for me if I do that. As you check them, if your window closes, just right-click in that empty area again. Menu bar, favorites bar, command bar, status bar, lock the toolbars, and show tabs on a separate row. So now you have your address bar all by itself on one row, and then as you create new tabs, they show up underneath your address bar. You also can see this yellow star over here on the left for marking favorites easily. And you also see a picture of a house right here. And if you go to that arrow, you're able to easily mark your home page. So if you have certain pages you like to be your home page that show up every time that you open the internet, then you would just click this arrow. You would add or change your home page. And then you can either add just one home page or you can have multiple home pages that show up on tabs when you open up the internet by going in this part. All right, the site that I want to take you to first then is called Krazy Keyz. So if you go into your address bar, and Krazy Keyz is spelled in a unique way. So it starts with a K instead of a C. So type K, R, hands on home row using good technique, A, Z, Y, space. We can do a space because I'm not giving you the actual address. We're doing a search right now. And Keyz is K, E, Y, Z. So, of course, those words aren't spelled correctly, but that's how this site spells them. And then you can enter, and it'll take you to a variety of choices for Krazy Keyz. Usually the first one works. If it doesn't end up working for you, you can always go back here and see which one will open it for you. You're looking for a monkey to show up. So I'm going to click the first one. As I scroll down, this happens to be one I think that's going to show us an advertisement first. It goes through real quick here. All right. I think that was Uncle Ben's rice, right? And then that monkey's going to show up. CrazyMonkeyGames.com. Once that monkey shows up, there's a blue screen that will show up behind the monkey. And if I click on that blue box, I'm going to start then to type the alphabet. You can just watch me first and see how fast I can do it. And so I'm going to click on the box and put my hands on home row and begin. And then my time shows up. Now, if I were to do this multiple times, I would probably get around 3 seconds. It took me longer than that to do it my first time here right now. When you do this, your goal is to have your hands on home row, to use excellent technique, and to get to the point where you don't have to look at your keys at all and you can type your alphabet in 10 seconds or faster. So this is a site that you can be working on for your alphabet practice. You can do that later. So for right now, let's go find the other site that I want you to look up. Oh, let's first mark this as a favorite so it's easy for you to come back to. So click that yellow star. It'll mark it as a favorite. It'll show up right here on your screen. See, it says Krazy Keyz. So next time you can click on that to get to it quicker. Then if you want to get a new tab, you can click next to your Krazy Key tab there and click on a new tab. And in your address bar this time, I'm going to have you type an actual website address. So that address is going to be typingweb.com. Typing is spelled Typingweb. Typingweb.com. And you can enter on that. And it takes you to a really good typing program that's free. Once you get there, you can click where it says Start Typing. And mine is recognizing me as somebody who already has an account because I was here earlier today. You are going to be asked to put in some information. It's going to ask for a username and a password so that you can create the account. So where it says username, go ahead and put in your school ID like you always do for your usernames. And then where it says password, you can put in your password. And hopefully it accepts both of those things. I think for the username in this program, you're allowed letters and numbers and underscore, but you can't have any spaces between anything. And then you don't need to put in any email or anything, just a username and a password. And then you should be able to click on OK, and it should bring you here. Once you get here, I'd like you to find some different things. There's a bar here with some different information that you can go to later. There are games and certificates and tests, statistics, trophies, skins. Those are all things you can look at later. Right now above those, there's a little word that says preferences. Go ahead and click on preferences. When that opens up, you don't need to put your personal information in here, and you don't need to allow a contact. If you did put in an email address, they sometimes send me an email and say, we've missed you, why don't you come and practice your keyboarding again? And that's all that I've gotten from them, but you can have that unchecked. If you ever need to change your password, this is where you could change it. If you wanted to delete your account, you could delete it. But on the right side, I'd like for you to change to the circle that says 2 spaces, spaces between sentences. There's a big debate out in the world on whether we should spacebar once after sentences or 2 times after sentences. It used to always be 2 was the only correct answer. And now if you check the internet, people debate on this all the time. Some believe very strongly it's 1 and some very strongly it's 2. Depending what college you go to someday, too, might make a difference because the APA versus the MLA styles in language arts and your English classes, they even disagree on this and do it differently. So I like 2 spaces after sentences. It gives you a little bit of space between one sentence and the other, and I find it easier to read that way. So in my class, you'll be doing 2 spaces, so you might as well practice that way now. Typing speed, you can leave that at words per minute. That tells how many words you can type in a minute. Just like a car goes so many miles per hour, your fingers go so many words per minute. And then the sound, when you're playing this in school, you probably need to turn your sound off. Play sounds no. But if you want to try this at home, you can always go to preferences and click on yes and see what the sounds are all about. I think you can even pick music for your background and different things with that. Okay, that was what I wanted you to do there. So go ahead and click on Save Your Changes. It says your preferences are being saved. And then you can go back to the courses. And what you should do in here is you should do the beginner course. The home row keys, top row, bottom row, and the rest of these in the beginner course before you take time to go enjoy the games and the other things involved with this site. Once you get through that beginner course, then you can work on the games to get faster because you will have learned proper technique and how to type the letters. If you go right to the games, you're going to be tempted to hunt and peck instead of using home row because you haven't had enough practice. So that's what I would recommend. Do the beginner course, then enjoy the games and other things. And then throughout the year, you maybe could enjoy the other areas in this and get better with all of your typing skills. There's a place called Skins. You might like to go there. You can change how your background looks by clicking on one of those. So if you click on one, then when you're working in here, it will show you a different background. So you click on it, and I'm still in the Skins area, but you can go back then to your courses area, and they look like this now. So it changes it. And you'll just click on a circle, and it's going to open up the lesson. A couple of things happen first. The ad will disappear once the lesson has loaded, and then you'll put your hands on home row. We're now going to move into the keys just above the home row. It says these are the top row keys. I thought I chose to go to home row. Maybe I chose to go to the different one. And then we'll begin with the R and the U, which you will type with your index fingers. Remember to always keep your fingers resting on the home row and only move one finger at a time. So you should read those helpful hints. You should see how the fingers have the dots that are color-coded with the letter that they're showing you so that you would know what finger to use. And then you can click on Begin the Lesson, and then you would just start typing what you see on your screen. It'll be R, R, R. Maybe I have to click on it first. R, 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 space U, 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 and I'll just stop there. And then it'll tell you your speed and information about errors and things like that. So that's what I wanted to show you today. Thank you for being a part of my keyboarding series. I hope you have learned many things that you did not know before and that you will develop a wonderful keyboarding skill, because typing correctly does show respect to your own body and will hopefully help you be more productive and help you to have less physical problems in the future. Thank you.